I'll just hold my phone over here. Sometimes it does better. So let me know you're back. Okay, so what's going on with me is that oh wow, I can even make, I did not know I could do this now that I'm playing with it and I'm waiting on you guys. I could do a live and make it all like interesting. How about this groovy one? Just dreamy. Oh, here we go. This one's cool because I feel like I've been in the Twilight Zone. Right here. Shows in the Twilight Zone. Beam me up. Beam me up. Oh, here. Let's have some let's have a party this morning. We'll have some bubbles. Okay. I don't know who's with me, if you guys are back, baby, or not. This one. Which one you guys think looks better? Can you see me? Oh, hi, Jeffy Bear. It's you. How are you? I was just talking about my the issues I'm having with trying to get my disability, and I got some cash assistance, and it was about $218 is all they would help me with. So but but after not having anything, woo, I was happy. So I got a few things that I needed, and I'll have food for the rest of the week. So that it's been a challenge. It's a super huge challenge. Yeah, I know. I watched your video, and you're doing good though. I mean, you're getting ready to drive, and it's just, I know it's got to be overwhelming too, But I know that feeling of just got to get going. I think about you a lot too, and how you probably would be, hanging out in the woods and in the bush. And I saw a little hummingbird yesterday, little feeder, and a little hummingbird came up. So I've got my feeders out. Kind of made me happy. But yeah, I gotta figure out how to close it, how to do that. Good grief. You guys take me anywhere. All right, guys, again, there we are. Yeah, I know. Taking forever. That's how I feel here. Like, there's been times, Jeffy Bear, like, I have to go back and look at last year when I was talking about this. I mean, it's not ideal, but you guys taught me to be prepared for, things happen. The trucks, I need to replace some weather seals, things like that. I don't have insurance right now, so I'm parked until I can get some insurance. And trying to get my disability, at least to help. But that's, how that goes. It's going to be a process. So, yeah, it's a challenge. Yesterday, I've just felt pretty numb with the whole thing, and so frustrated because I worked so hard to be ready for what I needed to do. And it's hard. Jeffy Bear, if you're still on, they when they were trying to figure out my resources, they counted my truck as a resource, and they said they're gonna put it at 6,100, even though it's got 180 something thousand miles on it, but it's 10 years old. They said, um, they put it at 6,100. You guys want to know the cutoff for which would have knocked me out of getting any food assistance at all? If my truck would have been worth 6,500 in their system, I would have been denied the the help because I have a truck. So if if I just sold the truck, then of course I wouldn't qualify, right? If I could get that, I doubt I'm going to get that much out of it. They're starting to, I know even up in your guys' area, I just saw that they're planning on going all electric by 2035. So, it's kind of like, it's like, how can they say my truck is so valuable But then when I try to go trade it in or, check around, they maybe will give me 5,000 for this truck. I got so much money put in this truck. I'm not doing that, you know. I'll sell it outright, maybe if I had to and backpack out. I was like, I guess I could get an e-bike. Hey, I'll get an e-bike and one of those little what do you call those mini campers and go strolling across with Stokey in my camper. I'll be the turtle for sure. Remember when I first started, I was gonna put like a turtle on the side of a camper. So hey, maybe this is all part of it. Yeah, it's frustrating. I had to get injections last week, and so part of the side effects is flushing and then waking up. And I've been awake since 12:30. It felt like I'd slept for 10 hours. Well, yeah, if I sold the truck, I wouldn't need the money, right? But where am I going to live? Jeffy Bear? How am I going to get a job? How am I going to or work? How am I going to do what I need to do? That see, it's all a catch 22. If I had kids, I could not work and I could just, oh, the other thing too was they were giving gas cards. So I asked, I'm like, "Hey, can you guys do you offer gas cards cuz that's something that I absolutely need help with. I can't do anything um without gas and insurance. It's not going to happen." And they said that they are only giving gas cards to parents with children and the parents are looking for work. That's who they give the gas cards to. And which that makes sense. I mean, that's good because you got to get your kids to daycare, you got to get to work. I mean, all of that has to happen. Um it's just, I guess my point is to everybody, because I keep hearing this and it's starting to make me upset. Quit thinking people are getting. Oh, yeah, they want you to be like, I almost saw a fight in there yesterday. I was sitting between the two people. And luckily with my street smarts, like I knew what was going on. Dude behind me's tripped out on drugs. There's at least 3 or 4 of them in there. There's talking to the walls and trust me. Trust me. They do want you to have nothing. I shouldn't have even had to go in there. I should have been able to do everything online. But because right now, Jeffy Bear, there's so much fraud with EBT, with cash, with fentanyl. We're having problems here in the neighboring counties. People are scamming for fentanyl. It's an issue. It's made it very unsafe even for people to go in. So I'm sitting in there. I'm just sitting there, like, waiting on my daughter to come pick me up. And this woman, this black lady in front of me, and, I mean, people are on edge right now. You gotta be. I mean, there is issues. I'm not gonna deny it. There's issues. And that woman's sitting there. Well, dude behind me, he's all, he's on something, meth or something, but he starts, like, staring at her. And she got mad. And I'm in between them. And she's like, "Don't start, you made her quit looking at me." And then it started, he's like, "I'm not looking at you." And she goes, "Yeah, you were. You stopped grinning at me like that." Well, I knew he's on dope, that he's probably seeing something. He's probably not even seeing her. And but then they started getting engaged and they got louder and they got louder. And like, I thought she's gonna come up out of there, like she's a pretty tough gal. And he stayed back and stuff. Well, the security guard finally came around. He's like, "You guys need to stop and don't talk to her anymore." And I'm like, he wasn't talking to her. She started yelling at him because he looked at her. See, and I saw that whole dang thing. And so dude, he's rough looking, but he was behind me. So I'm trying to be careful because I know he's like right standing behind me. And I get sketchy anyway. I don't like people being behind me looking in windows at me. I got my reasons. But he starts saying to me from behind me, he's like, look, see that guy? Look at that man over there. See him? See his teeth are gold. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? So I'm all looking across the room, and I'm like, and I saw this picture on the wall back there of these loggers. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Because he's like upsetting people. And I'm used to street people. I turn around, I'm like, what are you looking at, man? And because now I'm getting nervous too. And you can't take any kind of protection with you when you go in those buildings. You can't. So you got to trust somebody else in there is going to help you. So I turned around and I said, man, what are you looking at? And he's like, see over there? And he pointed, and I'm like, are you looking at that picture? He goes, yeah. See those loggers? It's all the way across this waiting area. And there's these loggers up there, and it's an old picture. Probably Oregon, somewhere. All these loggers. And I turned around and I looked at him, and he's like, can't you see their teeth? Can you see his teeth? And I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, good. You're good, man. You're good. And I said it just like that. You're good, man. You're good. And he just kind of smiled and he calmed down. And I want you guys to know, he went over and he sat down on the other side, because those people had gotten up and went on and was going through their window. And he sat down and he never said another word. So it's just like, whatever I have with people like that, however they see me, that's a gift to me. And to see how it could have gone, that could have gotten really bad. That's the stuff that people are dealing with to go into these facilities to get help. And there's people there, but it's not healthy. It's not safe. I don't understand, I guess, the concept of how things are happening and why it's happening the way it is very confusing to me. What policies change for us? This is why I tell you guys, you need to care. I had somebody say to me, of course they're liberal, had somebody say to me, you shouldn't be worried about what's going on everywhere else. It's not going on in your own community. And I'm like, you must be smoking dope. If you don't think that the stuff that's going on out there is not going on here, it's because you've been sitting at home working for 2 years for the government. And you don't know what's going on because they tell you you don't know what's going on. You're not going to know what's going on. You're going to do whatever program they have for you to do your job. Just like that woman that stands up there and gives that press release. Man, you know what? After a while, you just kind of quit being pissed off at them because they're doing a job. They're doing a job. And my guess is she probably hates her freaking job. Now, I can figure it. But, I'm grateful because yesterday I got to get groceries because I go to bed hungry sometimes, or I just don't feel like eating at all. And I remember my friend Jeffy Bear, if he's still on, just talking with him about these feelings and how it feels, and to be cold, to be stuck because you don't have the funds to get your truck fixed or to get on the road. Because really, your heart, people like that, your heart really is to pay it forward to people. When you have a heart like that, it's hard to just stop. Because like yesterday, I could see, like, I'd be good in here. But the problem with me being in there doing that kind of a job, you sit all day long. My back was killing me after 4 hours of trying to get through that process. And then the people, like, my nerves was shot. You guys, by the time I got out of there, like, I was like, get me the freak out of here, man. I'm like, I've got some dude following me outside asking me, he's like, seriously, this is what this dude says to me. So one dude follows me outside because I go out to wait on my daughter. This dude says to me, I still got some food stamps. You hungry? I'm like, what the hell? I said, no, thank you. I'm good. And I'm like, but do you see, like, somebody that didn't know better, you get roped into that so fast. And so I was standing there, leaving him alone. He's like, all right, well, I just thought I'd ask. I'm like, well, thank you, and you just try to, just they're not right, you guys. These people are not right. They're sick on drugs. This is not a normal thing. Some of these people, their brains are fried. They won't ever go back to being normal like they were. So I had to watch him close. So I was having a little bit of stress yesterday, just a little bit. Like, dang, am I gonna have to fight, to get my way out of here, or what's gonna happen? But yes, the best news is I got a little bit of money for food stamps. Um, I just have to be careful because I had some skimmers. Oh, that was the other thing too. Anyone that does have a EBT card, you need to be really careful. I watched up on our news where I thought someone scanned that it was something that you scan a machine. They're actually, what they're doing right now is there's these skimmers. So just like you can go around and zap somebody's information, right? There's these skimmers that are able to get your card information without scanning even. So there was all kinds of stuff going on. And there's a lady up here that she was out, all the money that she had for food was on her card, and it got wiped out. And supposedly, she's in a different county than me, but it's still same program. Supposedly they weren't going to replace it. They said it's not insured. So right now with my EBT card, say I had $200 on it. If someone manages to hack my food stamp card, too bad for me. That's right. Too bad for me. Because they don't have some kind of a system in place to ensure what's happening to those cards. And again, it's because of fraud. So it's definitely not easy. I know down in California that situation's a little bit different. There are people down there that are getting cash to live on the street. I don't know what their program is like, but here for the program that I'm under right now, it's because I can't do a consistent, steady job. I have no job, and I have a history of medical stuff. So my guess is a lot of those people, that's what's happening with them too, is they're not meeting, they're meeting disability because of mental or whatever. And, it's not what you think. Not everybody's getting cash. Not everybody's, like I said, the only people that got to just sit home and get cash are the state workers that were sitting home and getting cash. It's like maybe some banks, maybe some offices that they can run through a computer. But I know too many young people that was making minimum wage, did not get any hazard pay, did not get anything, and they were working in food and out there in food during the whole last 2 years of COVID. And what I was going to tell you guys about this state, I'm qualified as an ES3. That's my last job, an environmental specialist 3. I'm qualified by education and experience to get to a 4. And so I'm not an uneducated person. It's not like I don't have the experience. My issue is with the politics and the bullshit. Sorry, bleep. And not focusing on the real issues going on right now. And when I talked to the dude that was trying to help, because I'm gonna have to go to my try to get my veterans ID. I got out. I'm honorably discharged years and years ago in 1991, and I remember the day I was sworn in, October 22nd, 1990. I swore in. I left here, went to boot camp. Day I got to boot camp, they announced that the war was starting Well, 1990, was that Saudi Desert Storm? One of them. It was one of them. It was whichever one of them was over there. It had just started. And because of my back and I had a lot of issues, I couldn't even get through the training. But they let me out uncharacterized, even though it's honorable. So I've never really had benefits. I don't get medical through them. I don't get anything through them. And I know they've changed a lot of things that you can do. So because I have my DD 214, I can take that and hopefully make an appointment, which is I'm supposed to be. I think the Veterans Office is going to be calling me. I have to at least apply for my ID card, because even like at Cabela's, if I were in there, and I hope to be this next summer, I really do want to go see Jim at Cabela's. You can get discounts on my fishing license. I can get half off and maybe even free, depending on what happens with my disability. That could be a while though. And then national parks, now they're doing a thing. You guys should check this out. I think they just passed a bill that says if you served and you have your veterans ID, you can actually get free access to national parks. So don't quote me on that. I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody. Go look for yourself. But there's all these little things that's like, well, it might not be that big of a deal, but it's something, it's something to say thank you. And then you can go, like, I want to go to the parks. I want to go do videos and show you guys crazy parks and open my window and the ocean's there for you to see with me when I wake up and start my coffee with Sasquatch, right? I mean, I've got my dreams are so big. Whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing must be awesome, because I get hit all the time by something. But yeah, so I'm just finding it's the other thing I want to do is I'm going south. I'm going to show you guys some things when I go south and east. Everything's changing, so I'm not trying to get across the border now. I'm a little bit nervous to be leaving the States. I probably won't be doing that for a minute. But definitely, if you guys from Canada, if you come down, you'll come down through this way, then, I'd love to travel with folks and try to get some things going so that I can travel and go meet people. That would be fun for me at least once. It's my bucket list, you guys. I'm going to be 54 years old in April. 54. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, whoa. I don't know about that, if I like that or not. I'm just saying. But really, what's the difference? Because I feel better today. I feel better today than I did at your ID card you could get online for veterans. Yeah, most likely I have to log in. I have an account already set up. I tried to go through that. I tried to go through that 3 years ago, and it's pushback because I was in a Washington State National Guard. So I'm treated differently. Yep, believe it or not, it's not treated the same. So now the people that I talked to yesterday, they are working on our state with National Guard. And so hopefully if I go over to the hub, we have a veterans hub here, and I know a lot of veterans here, so I know it can be tough. But if I can just go on and apply and get my ID, yeah, that'll be good for me. Oh yeah, I've already been there. I know the link. I got my account set up. I got it all. I'll have to go look at it and see again. But remember, the problem out here is like this live hit and miss. I can't get on my computer. So that's been the problem here. Did you ever see a doctor? Oh, no. Yeah, well, yeah, when I got discharged. Yeah. Saw the dentist, too. Yeah, no, I'm uncharacterized cameraman, so I'm BB, I'm uncharacterized. So they pretty much, they gave me the boot. Not anything bad that I did, but I was too dumb to not know to get the benefits. Um, so that was kind of like, and that's been a long time ago, you guys. That's been a long time ago. I got out in 91, so I wasn't in very long. And, I'm not really expecting a lot from the veterans. I just would like to get my ID card. I wasn't hurt in there. I didn't get hurt in there. Mine was a pre-existing condition. Yeah. So they didn't look at it as I was hurt in there. It's pre-existing. They let it slip through. So it's kind of been like a knot. They haven't pushed it. I haven't pushed it. Now all I want from them is get my veterans ID. That's all I want from them. I already know I can't get anything. I've already tried. Unemployment office tried. I went through the work source program. They tried. I don't qualify for it. Unless, because of the new policies that Biden himself signed off on for veterans, I may fall under something that I didn't. Did they document what? Oh, they documented a lot. Trust me. They documented. Yep, they documented. They made it sound like it was all me before I got in there. I didn't have an injury in there. I got out. Failure to adapt is how we got me out. Because I couldn't do the training. So I wasn't hurt there. It flared up there. But what they did was they wrote it all up that it was all pre-existing. So they cut me loose with an honorable. Yes, everything's done. I have every file. I have all the paperwork. I've already submitted it to them. I've already gone to the VA. 3 years ago, I did this. This is why I'm like, when they tell me that stuff, this is why I haven't gone. This is why I don't fight for it. That you spend hours and hours and hours and documents and appointments, and you try to get all that together, and then they find some loophole. Like yesterday, I didn't have a freaking kid living in here with me, so therefore I can't get cash assistance to help me. Right? There's always a loophole. That's been the experience for me. That's why I get like I do. I'm not just a negative person. I don't think everybody's out to get me. I just think it's a bunch of bullshit policies that need to get fixed. I help write policies. I know what it looks like. And I've never seen such a mess in all my life. I guess that was kind of the thing I wanted to come on and say was there is nobody getting the money like they're making it out to be. All these people that are poor and living on the street and doing what they're doing. If you think that's a good life, if you think that's like, oh yeah, here, let me go do that, if you think that's like glamorous, let me shit in my bucket today, okay? I'm just being real with you guys. They knew everything. They know my situation there. The VA, there's people living in the woods right now that can't get help through the VA. My coworker's brother died in the woods. He was a veteran. He died in the woods, homeless. When they have their disability day and they stand up there and they talk about how great it is, I get mad and turn the TV off because I've been fighting this. And here's the thing well, you look fine. Well, you seem fine because I'm young spirited. See, that's a lot of it too, is they're looking at what they're seeing on the outside. Wild. Worst case scenarios are going to tell me no, you know. I've been dealing with this for a long time. Just can't get help because of COVID. And you know, I've got all the documentation. I've got everything I need. All I want from them, all I need from them is my ID on some things, like getting discounts and all of that. Yeah, yeah, that was when we were cutting out. So yes, I got $218 a month is what I qualified for. My truck was almost too much value. I had $30 in the bank. At less I checked, I don't know, it could be gone. I had $30 in my savings. That's all I have is a savings. And they gave me they said this truck was a resource of 6,100. So for about 370, if I had 370 anywhere else, I wouldn't have qualified for food. Even though yeah, yep. I'm frustrated. And as somebody who's worked in the system in the government, it makes me more frustrated. And I think too, though, everybody was so kind and I was kind. Yeah, I know. And I still could get the money. I could be, this could be setting me up to get my disability finally. I mean, my family, I'm slow. I can't complete anything, you guys. I'm not completing one thing. It's challenging. It's very challenging. I don't know how to build well. I've got all these things that I need to do, and this week, I don't think we're gonna get up over the freezing this week. So, you know, so it's just like there's things I need. Like I need to get, now I know where I messed up. Like I needed to make sure that what city I live in, I'll just tell you, it's the Olympia area. Olympia, Washington. I live in the capital. Yeah. Right to where I went and did that video in Olympia at the Capitol building. Yeah, I'm not very far from there. So I'm just out of town. Like, I'm out towards the forest. And it's just far enough that reception's good or not good. The tower's not good. And then that's why I'm on this morning, because I got my notice that they're going to cut me off. And so that'll probably be going off today, this phone. And you guys, I'll try to figure out a way to get onto my YouTube and my Instagram and try to keep those things going. Because I do love it. It's my hobby, and I'm growing. Who knows where this will go? You know, I got a lot of other things that I would like to do. I don't plan on getting famous with this thing. I mostly started it just for, you guys know, to meet people and engage with people, and hope to God I didn't die from COVID. Remember, I had COVID so bad. What do you mean if I want disability? Oh, what am I going to do? I can't hold a job. I got to do something. Dude, you know what? You guys don't know. It's like I look all young and everything, but spend about, oh, an attorney? Yeah, I got to go deal with that with the Social Security office, because some freaking advocate tried to screw me on that. So now I got to go get them off my Social Security through the federal too. So that's my but I filed for state disability, which, like I said, you have nothing. This is why I haven't filed before. Oh yeah, but you know what they said they're gonna base my SSI on? My SSI will be based on the last 6 months of doctor's notes. So luckily I went in screaming and crying last week. I had one. They screwed me over. An advocate. No, they don't. The heck they don't. No, they don't. They don't do nothing for free. They got their name on my Social Security account. I have written, I have called, I have requested to get their butts off of there, because if I were to die today, those a-holes will get $6,000 of my Social Security, and it'll be taken from my kids. right? Because I let them, supposedly they were going to help advocate for me and help me get started. I've already filed the complaint. I don't trust them. Everything that you guys could possibly say, I've probably done, tried, screamed, been mad, like cried, everything. Give up. There's been times where I'm just like, screw it, I don't care. Fine. Don't go on my computer for who knows how long. Yeah, and you just get that way. And then I'm sitting there looking at all these people like, no wonder people are going on the streets. So they'd rather me sell my truck to get the $6,000 than to help me for a little bit. And that's one thing I was going to tell you guys when I was sitting there with the social worker, and he completely understood. I mean, they looked up my old job and he's like, what happened there? And I told him, and you know, just kind of everything. And he's just like looking at me, and I said, you know what? I have paid into this system since I was 15 years old. 15 years old. And I'm sitting here begging you to help me with $400 cash. Because that's about what my, what it'll be. $450 for cash assistance. Yep. And 200. So you tell me, can you make it? And seriously, like, if you can't work, like, if you don't have a buddy to help you to team and to do things, like, and you don't have insurance, you're stuck. I mean, these aren't excuses. This is my situation. So I'm sharing these things because I want you to know this is what I'm going through. And these are the things I have to overcome at my age. And I'm watching all you guys. I know you hate it when I talk about, I know you hate it. Nobody wants to talk about politics. My kids hate it when I talk about politics. Oh shit, here goes mom. Please don't talk about politics. But when it starts to happen, guess what I hear? Well, you tried to tell us. Well, you were right, I guess. Yeah, I know I am. You lived in your house single, $200. That's what you made or got, was $200 a week. Yeah. Well, that was my hope in the truck. I could live it. I'm not complaining. I love my truck. I just need to get help. I need the basics. Oh, heck yeah, I know. That's why I never went after my kids like their dads like that. A lot of people might have thought, oh yeah, same with me. You know why? Because I did not go after their dads. Once I had my youngest daughter, her dad and I were, we weren't together. We were married, but then we got a divorce, and I had her after it all went through. But, it's worked out. It's been fine. But I wasn't one of these moms that was in freaking for every 2 years. Yeah. Well, and that's just it. So when Olivia and I were together, because I had 2 cars, because she had the car and I had the truck, we didn't even qualify at all to get help. So I didn't even bother. It's like, I'm not even going to bother to try. But when they tried to tell me I almost didn't qualify for food, I did not have that. We watched, right now, you got my little TV in here, my little stove, and I got all kinds of movies that I can watch. Tons and tons and tons of movies that I can crochet required it. And do you know, even up until these last 2 years, so because of my house, because I sold my house. And that was the first thing they asked. Like, they know everything. As soon as they start asking you questions, they already know the answer. And they just said, well, where's the money? Did you hide any money? I'm like, no, I didn't hide any money. Here's where I rented. Here's my eviction. So I got screwed out of my taxes. that. So I mean, I had everything, just handing it to him. Like, here you go, here you go, here you go. It's like, I'm not lying. I know sometimes people are crazy as isn't for me. Maybe I'm doing maybe a boyfriend, like he's running drugs or he's running hustling, whatever, and he's driving, he lives there, but he ain't there. Like, I guess I could do that game. I could run that hustle. I never did. Ever. I worked my butt off. They started asking me. I don't realize how much I know and how valuable my knowledge is until they start asking me. So when you have a fellow state worker knows that you've been a state worker for 14, almost 15 years and ask you those questions, and it's like an interview, and you start talking about it, it's like, wow. And I cried. Like, it broke my heart. But is my passion. I love the nature. I love little creeks and fish and being outside, and I always wanted to do that. That's what I want to do, but because of my disabilities, I couldn't get out on the terrain and be walking over rocks and creeks and all that stuff with my back messed up. So, so it's hard because all of my knowledge, you guys know that I got the notice, but I also did get information. So there are free phones. That is true. I don't know if it's like a flip phone or whatever the kind of phone it is, but there's phones that I can get just for emergency. It's not safe to not have a phone, and you can't do anything without a phone. It's about like a bank card. Forget it if you don't have a bank card or something. But what I did do is I finally figured out how to, come on, good morning, doggy. This is too early for this, Mom. It's too early? Look at him, looking all mad. He'll get over it. He's been pretty good. It's been really cold and snowing, but no, on my description, what I did do is I figured out a way to have mail sent to the post office, and then they can forward it to me. So I did figure that out, and I put in my description my mailing address if you guys want to send me a letter, a card, or whatever, just to say, you're there for me. I appreciate you. So I'm learning. I'm getting there. The most frustrating part was that I thought I had the right cord and everything to get to my computer so I could start working on my pages and do that. And my laptop is so old that all your guys' messages just came through, so catch up. My like that I can cut up and make like breakfast burritos and stuff, with those kielbasa. I love doing that with the eggs and the salsa. Yeah, it's going okay, and I just have to. I always tell myself, because Christmas is hard for me. It always has been. I always tell myself that I'm almost there, and then once we get to the new year, spring's coming. I'm like, woohoo! Yay for spring! That's me in January. I'm all like, spring's coming. They're like, are you kidding me? It's just now winter. Oh no, spring's coming. I'm let's see if I can get you back on. Are you back on? Did I lose you? You there? I hope so. We keep disconnecting. I think I lost you again, you guys. We'll see if it comes over here. It's been pretty windy. There we go. Yes. Okay, you're back. It's been really windy. Not so, I can't hear it right now. I don't think it's even, yeah, it's still dark outside. Look, you guys, I don't even know what time it is. Look, it's dark. So if you are in Florida, you're 3 hours ahead of me. That's what time it is here. What, like 6 o'clock probably? Yeah, that's what's going on, Michelle. I hope that you guys can catch this part and I haven't lost you. There you go. Yeah, thanks you guys. I appreciate the encouragement and just trying to figure out how to do this and you know, just keep going. And I've invested a lot. Like I've invested so much money into this, and actually in a way I feel like I prepared for this more than invested. My jackeries, my refrigerator, man, all that stuff has been a lifesaver to me. And already having a bed built and the blankets, and because can you imagine, had I not been getting these things the last couple years and trying to do it all right now, I wouldn't be able to. I'd be like the dudes in there that are carrying their backpacks and stuff. And I did say that. I'm like, well, worst case scenario is I can sell this truck and backpack out of here. You know, get a, seriously, get an e-bike. Shit. Wow. I'm cracking myself up. About ready to go live in a cave. Serious. All right. If you're still out there, I love you. You be good. Take care of each other. And Merry Christmas to you. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I never know who's watching. But I hope that, I hope something I say can help you. And I hope, like, maybe, you know, you can just keep me in your prayers and everything. Oh, my daughter's car. One more thing, if you guys hear this. My daughter's car, the warranty's going to cover the engine. Whoop, whoop. I'm like, woo! I was so glad, because that was, like, going to be a $7,000, yeah, drive it right off into freaking Grand Canyon. I was, like, sweating bullets on that. This has been a crazy week, you guys. But, yeah, so her engine's going to get fixed on her car. And then she goes to college and stuff, so I need to make sure that she's doing okay, that she can succeed. You know, I've set her up to succeed, so it's up to her now. But yeah, that was all good news. So hope everybody's safe. I'll try to get on at Christmas and watch you guys and catch up with you and say hello. But we'll see. Like I said, I don't know if I'll have service or not. Just remember, I love you guys. I'm thinking about you, and I'll be missing you like crazy if I can't get on to check in on you. All right. So, yes, everything's good. Everything's in motion. I'm contacting the VA. I am doing what I'm supposed to. And this time, I have a social worker. We'll see how that goes, if they can help me. I'm going to stay positive. All right? I love you. You take care of yourselves. Be kind. Everybody's going through something. For sure, for sure. Love you. Toodaloo.